Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, All Things Tonya. Tonight I want to share with you my top 4 Dollar Tree wood tumbling block DIYs. Although you will find many wood tumbling block DIYs on my channel, these are my top 4 favorites. But before I bring these DIYs to you again, I would like to take a moment to welcome those of you who are visiting my channel for the very first time. I hope you enjoyed today and will consider subscribing to my channel. My friends who are always here supporting me, welcome back. For the tissue box cover, I used a total of 132 blocks. I used 36 blocks for the top cover. I used 30 for each side, and I used 18 for the smaller size of the box. Now I will use my glue gun to glue all of these pieces together. Here's how one side will look once it's all glued together. And now let's get all of these pieces together to duplicate what we just did. Now that we have our 2 longer sides completed, we're going to begin to glue together our shorter sides. And we're going to duplicate this side by gluing together these 18 blocks. Let's see how everything is measuring up and to see if we need to make any type of adjustments. Oh, everything is fitting together perfectly. Now it's time to glue it all together. I am really enjoying these tumbling block projects. And adding the Waverly antique wax really completed the project. I also used my Cricut to cut out the lettering for this project. I really love this one, guys. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think about my tissue box cover. For my tiered tray, I will be using these 21-inch paint sticks that I picked up from Home Depot. I will also be using the 12-inch paint sticks that I picked up from Home Depot. And I will be using this 6-inch piece of wood that I had left over from a previous project. For this project, I will be cutting the handles off of my paint sticks, and they will end up being around 14 inches long. And then I will be cutting the handles off the smaller paint sticks, and they will be around 9 inches long. I will be using a total of 7 of the larger paint sticks and 7 of the smaller paint sticks. To attach the sticks, I will be using pieces of the paint sticks that I removed, and I will be using my hot glue gun. This is what the board will look like once it's all glued together. Next, I will be using the wood tumbling blocks that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and I will be using it to border my tiered tray. Now that I am sure that my blocks will fit around my tray, I'm going to use my hot glue gun to glue them all down. Look how nice and neat this is turning out. I am really loving how this is coming together. And I'm going to repeat this same process using the smaller paint sticks for the top of my tiered tray. To glue the smaller paint sticks together, I will be using the larger craft sticks, and I also picked these up from Home Depot. And I will be using these because the paint sticks are much smaller and thinner, and the craft sticks will hold them together better. Now the top of my tiered tray is all glued together. I left a space here because this is where I will be attaching the 6-inch piece of wood to the top and bottom trays. I'm also going to use the wood tumbling blocks for the smaller tray, and this is what it looks like when I have completed it. And now I am going to use my Waverly antique wax, and I'm going to stain both trays and the 6-inch piece of wood. And here are all 3 pieces, all nice and dry. Look how beautiful this tone is. I am really loving it. And now I'm going to use my hot Gorilla glue sticks that I picked up from Walmart to attach all 3 pieces. Everything is coming together so nicely. I am loving how this is turning out. I cannot wait to add the finishing touches. I want to add a distressed look to my trays, so I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint color plaster, and I'm going to dry brush a few spots on my trays, and I'm going to sand it down a little to give it a little worn look. And here's the finished look after I have sanded down. I have achieved the look that I was going for. And now it is time for me to make all of my little items that will go on my tray. I will be using more of these wood tumbling blocks to create this beautiful planter. Each planter will contain 32 of the wood tumbling blocks, 8 on each side. There will be 2 small squares put together on each side. This is what the 4 sides of the planter will look like using all 32 of the wood tumbling blocks. And now I'm going to use my hot glue gun to glue all of the pieces together. And I am using Gorilla hot glue sticks, and I purchased them from Walmart. I love using the Gorilla glue sticks versus the regular glue sticks when I'm working with my wood tumbling blocks because they do not come apart. Here's one side of the planter all glued together, and I will repeat the same process with the other 3. I'm going to take this wet baby wipe and my Waverly antique wax, and I'm going to stain all 8 pieces. I'm going to use my hot glue gun to attach the 4 pieces of each planter. And this is what we have after gluing together all 4 of the sides, and I will be completing the same process for these 4 pieces. Now that my 2 planters are completed, I will be using these large craft sticks that I picked up from Home Depot, and I will cut them in half and place them on the bottom of my planters. Now here are my planters all completed. I think they are so cute. I love how they turned out. But I do feel as if I should stain the inside of the planters. They look unfinished without the stain, so I'm just going to apply a little on the inside. Now to bridge my two planters together, I'm going to use a total of 24 of the tumbling blocks. I'm going to use 4 rows of 6, and I'm going to glue them all together and then give them a quick stain. To add a little to my planters, I am going to use these thumbtacks, and I am going to paint over them using my Waverly chalk paint color ink. I'm going to use 4 of the thumbtacks for each of the planters. I'm just going to stick them right in the seams on the front of the planters. This is what the two planters are looking like so far. Now I'm going to use my bridge to glue everything together. Isn't this just adorable, guys? I really love how this is turning out. I saw a larger one at Home Depot, and I'm like, I am going to duplicate that and make one for my sofa table, and I really love how this is turning out. Now I'm just going to add a few decorative pieces, and this DIY will be completed. I will be using more tumbling blocks in my final DIY tonight. I will use quite a bit of tumbling blocks in this DIY. I am going to take you step by step. It is an easy DIY, but there are quite a few steps. I am gluing a single row of 8 of the tumbling blocks together. I will need 6 rows of 8. This will be the top row of my planters. I'm creating a pattern at the top, so I'll be gluing one tumbling block on at a time, using a tumbling block to make sure that the tumbling blocks are spaced equally. And I'm going to repeat this process the entire way across. I'm going to attach one row of 8 to the top part of my planter. I'm going to repeat this process for the other side, so I'm going to make another one just like it. Now I have one for the front and the back of my planter. I use a total of 12 on the inside and one row of 8 on each side. Now this part is a little easier. As you can see here, I'm putting together 1 block, then 3, 1 block, then 3, and I will be using a total of 24 blocks. That's a total of 48 blocks, 24 for each side. This is what it would look like once I glue these two pieces together. Now I have put together all of the pieces for both of my sides. I have 2 tops, 2 middles, and 2 bottoms. I will use the same pattern to create the sides of my planter, 1 block, then 3, 1 block, then 3, and I will add 3 extra ones to the top and 3 extra to the bottom because the sides are a little taller. Now I'm going to do a quick check to see how everything is coming together. I will use 2 rows of 8 and 2 rows of 2 to create the shell for the bottom of my planter. This is what it will look like after it's been glued together, and I'm just going to finish it off by using some large craft sticks. Now we have all of our pieces. I am going to glue the last row of 8 to the middle part of my side, and then I'm going to begin to paint the parts. I will use my Waverly Antique Wax for the main part of the planter, and I will use my Waverly Chalk Paint Color Ink for the top part. I painted all sides of the top part, including the back, and now I'm going to paint the main part of my planter using my Waverly Antique Wax. Here's the bottom of the planter, all nicely stained, and now I'm going to stain the other pieces. Now that everything is nicely stained and painted, it is time to put my planter together. I'm going to glue the 2 pieces of the side of the planter together just like this, and then all 4 sides. I decided to take a piece of this thick nautical rope that I picked up from the Dollar Tree and take it around my planter, creating 2 handles on the side. The nautical rope gave the planter a finished look, and I really love how it turned out, and I hope you do too. All right, my friends, that is all that I have for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching my top 4 wood tumbling block DIYs. If you are here visiting for the very first time, I hope you enjoyed the video tonight and will consider subscribing to my channel. Please do not forget to like this video by giving it a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and visiting my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on my mommy's channel.